What's up, dudes? Chuck here, back in the garage. Today we're gonna do a little bit of basic maintenance. The 2017 Forester XT has just hit 5,000 miles, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the first oil change. Subaru recommends 6,000. I actually meant to do it before now. I meant to do it probably like, especially for the first one, I don't know, I just like to do them early. I was probably gonna do it like 3,000, 3,500, but you know, stuff, life, everything kind of gets in the way, so anyway, 5,000 miles in, we're gonna do the first oil change. Should be basically the easiest oil change I've ever done. I'm gonna show you why in a second, but the FA motors, so the FA motor in the new Forester XT, and it's also in the WRXs and stuff, super easy. So let's go ahead and get started. I gotta get this done quick. It's nap time for my kid, so I'm trying to crank it out during nap time. Let's do it. Okay, so the car, we just drove it, so it's pretty warm, but we're gonna do the oil change anyway. The oil filter is right on top of the motor. Look at that, look how easily accessible this is. Nothing's in the way, it's right there. This is beautiful for oil changes. Screw it off, put the new one on, amazing. Engine oil filler is right here. The cap 5W30. I'm going to show you the oil we're going to use here in a minute, but this is where you put it back in. You will probably need a funnel because it's kind of awkward to get in there. Dipstick right here. Get to know that because you want to check it to make sure you're not having any oil burning issues. So why is it easy? This is right on top. The other good news is on the bottom of the engine, on the STI and the old EJ motors, there's a giant belly pan that fits underneath the engine and covers stuff from whatever, road debris and water and etc. To get the filter off and to get the drain plug off, you got to pull the belly pan, which is super annoying. So this is going to come off here. The drain plug is underneath. It's basically one bolt you pull out, oil drains out, put the bolt back in, you're good to go. Let me show you the supplies we got for today. We're making it a little bit not stock, but it's something I did on the STI that I'm going to do again on this car. Alrighty, here's our supplies for the day. We got an oil filter. If you want the part number, right there. This guy, I got all this off Amazon, but you can't get it from the dealer. This is the blue filter. Some people like the black filter. Blue filter's fine. That's what the dealer will probably sell you. I'm going with Subaru oil, 5W30 synthetic. This is what I've been putting in the STI so far. I'm more doing it for the, I don't know, just warranty purposes for now. There's probably better oils out there. I just haven't decided yet what they are. The forums will kind of lead you all over the place. So I'm going to use Subaru for now. I'll probably switch in the next couple oil changes, but this was easy, and I knew it was approved, and it's not super expensive. So Subaru oil. This is a 1 gallon, so it's like 4 quarts, I guess. So I have a couple extra quarts. This thing I think actually takes like 5.5-ish. I have a couple extra quarts below in the cabinets here. Anyway, the other thing that's kind of interesting that we'll be adding is this guy. This is a Fumoto oil drain valve. I added this on my STI. Basically what this does, you put this in place of the drain plug. You've probably seen these on a lot of other channels and on my channel already. Put this in place of the drain plug, and then there's just a lever on this side, little lever that you turn and basically lets you drain all your oil out, so you don't have to replace the drain plug crush washer every time. That's kind of annoying. Every time you pull the drain plug out, there's a little washer around it. You got to put it back, buy a new washer and put it back on. Just potentially a little messy and a little annoying. So we're going to replace that while we're at it, make the easiest oil changes even easier. All right, I always like to let the system breathe a little bit. Pull the oil cap off. It's going to help the drain, so it doesn't have like a vacuum on the system. I always pull this up a little bit too, just kind of get some air in there, let it suck it down. So we're going to go into the car and pull the drain plug now, let the oil drain. Alrighty, so we're under the car. There's your drain plug. So this car's not jacked up at all. I've just kind of leaned in here under the car. It's just sitting on the ground. It's tall enough that you can get to it. Drain plug's right there. I think it's a 14, maybe a 15. This is one of the annoying pieces about having to pull the drain plug is you have to remember what size socket the drain plug is, and when you have 2 or 3 cars with varying size drain plug bolts, it makes it really hard to remember. So yeah, we got to pull the drain plug off. You need to make sure you have a pan or something to drain it into. That should be pretty straightforward. Okay, let me show you something. See all these spots on the ground? This is all oil I just spilled trying to get the drain bolts, plug out. It's because I had my hand in there. I'm trying to get the drain plug out. As I pulled out of the way, all the hot oil rushes out. This is not actually a horrible spill, but it's something that I now have to clean up, which is annoying. It gets on your hands, gets on your gloves, gets all over the floor. So that's where the Fumoto oil drain valve is going to help you out. Again, I'll put a link to it below. I don't get paid by Fumoto to tell you this, but you flip a little lever flips right out of the way, oil comes out. There's no fighting with the drain plug and having to re-torque it every time and all that jazz. So yeah, let's go ahead and go up. We'll let this drain. We'll go up and take care of the filter, and we should be ready to pour stuff back in. Okay, we're up top. Here's the oil filter. We're gonna try to get it off. I'm gonna go no. So for whatever reason, my STI was the same way. These filters come like crazy tight from the factory. So this is the first filter I'm gonna take off. It's ridiculously tight. Sometimes these are really hard to get off. I have a tool for this. I find it better than the little strappy ones. It's this little thing here. So basically, as you put it on here and twist it, the way the physics work of this thing, as you twist, these get tighter. Makes sense? So it grabs the filter, lets you turn it off, fits on a standard socket. It's pretty awesome. I've had it for a long time. I'll try to find you a link for it on Amazon so you know it's the same thing. But basically, if I move this to loosen, you put it on here, it tightens down, and then you can turn it. This is the new filter. Let's prepare it for delivery on the new engine. We're gonna pull the cap off of this guy. Fresh, clean oil. Get a little oil on your finger, and you're gonna gently lube the top of this. So here we go. This guy is gonna spin off. I'm gonna quickly turn it up. There's the filter comparison if you're interested in. Some people swear by the black filter. Other people really like this new blue filter. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna clean this off because I like things to be very clean. And I know that the dealer probably doesn't take time to do this, which is why I like to do things myself. All right, all clean. New filter, screws right on here. Once it makes contact, they recommend 7/8 of a turn. I just kind of like to go till it snugs up. Not too tight, tight enough that it's sealed, but next time I want to get it off, I don't have to like get out a freaking breaker bar. So filter's on. All right, so the plug is in here. Basically, next time we want to do an oil change, we just have to reach up. I can't do it without blocking it, but you reach up, push the valve down, oil comes out. This should be snugged up. It's hard to get a torque wrench on this thing, so I'm just using a box wrench, but make sure she's tight. Yeah, she's snug. So that's it. That's our new drain plug. Okay, so it's time to fill up with oil. It's gonna make your life so much easier if you just buy a funnel. Now you got this big mouth to drain in instead of that little tiny hole. We're gonna take our 4 quarts here, and it basically should take all of this. So I might need to set you down. All right, so the book, I just double checked it for the sake of my knowledge and your knowledge. The book says for an engine and filter change on the turbo models, it's 5.4 US quarts. So that gallon size is 4 quarts. I'm gonna have to use 2 of these single quart bottles, 1 all of it and then 1 partially. What I'm gonna do though is basically dump in 5 quarts total, and then I'm going to check the filter level to verify that, you know, it does in fact need an extra almost half a quart. Cool, so it's time to check the oil here. Pull it out first, wipe off the dipstick because it's not going to give you an accurate reading. Dunk it in. Pull it back out. Take a look here. Looks pretty full. I don't know if you can see this, but there's 2 little holes kind of telling you where the low and full mark is. Your owner's manual will actually tell you what this means, what the distance between these 2 is. Usually it's about a quart. So I'm gonna check it again. Pull it out. It's pretty close to full, but what we're gonna do is run the motor real quick. Turn it on, let it run for just a couple minutes, turn it off, or just a couple seconds, whatever, turn it off. And it's gonna pull the motor and kind of circulate it through the engine, put it in the filter, everything. And then we'll check it again to make sure that we're actually topped off. Something to note while we're letting that kind of settle a little bit after we ran it. Always check your oil on a level surface, obviously, because if the engine is tilted or whatever, it's going to throw off your oil level measurement. So the car must be level. Ideally, the car has been run recently, and just let it sit for just a couple minutes to kind of let the oil settle. Check it, you should be good. Alrighty, that's it, my friends. Pretty easy, super easy oil change. It's gonna get even easier. I sort of lied in the title. It will get easier next time because I don't actually have to pull the drain plug, which is awesome. Again, I'm gonna put everything I use in the description below. It's all Subaru stuff / that Fumoto oil drain valve, but I bought it all on Amazon, as I do with most of my items. I'll put it down there, make it easy for you guys. But yeah, you could totally do this. One of the bigger questions I get is, what do I do with the used oil once it's drained out? Basically, any or most major automotive parts stores will take the oil and recycle it, or there's a lot of times recycling centers or dumps or whatever in your area. But I live like 2 miles from Advanced Auto Parts. They have a big tank in the back. You just walk in with your jug of oil. It's nice if you buy the 4-quart gallon jugs. You can just drain the oil back into it, the used oil back into it. Anyway, you take that in. Hey, I got used oil to drop off. They point you to the back. You dump it into a big container. You write your name down just to like record how much oil you gave them. costs nothing, it's free, you're good. So super easy. I don't know exactly what the total cost was, but it's probably less than 50 bucks to get it done, and you can do it. My kid is still sleeping. Literally, it's taken me like 30 minutes to do this. So yeah, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't need much tools. You just need basically something to get the drain plug off, something to drain the oil into, and then something to pull the actual filter off. But yeah, and a funnel. Got it? Cool. Good seeing you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.